This is Richard back at you guys. This is Monday morning. I hope you got all your honeydews done. I had a list. Did I get them done? Not all of them, guys. But hey, we got Michael's '06 Silverado in the house. We're going to be doing the transmission in it. It's been done, I believe, twice now. Still doesn't work properly. We got Cody and Trent over here. They've already done some computer work on this transmission, or computer testing, and they are going to be possibly changing a valve body and solenoid pack and stuff like that on this one here. So when they get done checking it, they'll know for 100% what they're going to be doing. But anyway, we got Michael's '06 Silverado in the house. 5.3. It's been done once before by another shop here in town. Not going to say who. Annie's passed out. Look at her, Teresa. Is she passed out?
Her don't feel good.
Yeah, her don't feel good this morning. She come in not feeling good at all. But anyway, guys, the train's been built before. 5.3, four-wheel drive. We're going to get in here and look and see physically what they've done and what this gentleman paid for and see if it's in here. So let's get this thing apart. I'm really anxious because... oh gosh, here we go. This is the start. Pretty dark fluid. I don't know whose converter this is here. We don't use the company. It looks like it's been rebuilt. Doesn't have a tag on it. The hub looks pretty rough for sure.
Yeah, I don't know how many miles since it's
been in too. Now, we do have a river around here. You can see it does have a little bit of that river mud looking color on there, on the tail housing back here. But that don't mean anything. We have dirt roads. We have Oklahoma City next door. Or Oklahoma, excuse me. The city's almost next door. Now normally there's just a gasket right here, this O-ring. But they siliconed it too for some reason. I don't see any fluid in the connector. Looks good there. Now, it does have this ring in here for it pushes the band farther, or the servo farther forward, tighten up the clearance in the band. But when you do that, you better air check this thing and make sure it's proper. The travel on this pin is proper, because that's what this is designed to do. It's designed to push it forward. So if you put a wide band in here and you put this in here with a wide band, you're 99.9% in trouble, because you can't do it. Now you can put these with a stock narrow band and you don't have no issues, but when you put a wide band in there, it pushes the band so far forward, or the servo so far forward, that it actually tries to apply the band. So we'll get in here and see what type of band they have in here. That's why it's all about assembly air checking. So mix around real quick. And over here and get a tool real quick. Annie, come on. Go on in. Watch her. She's doing it. We'll get this bell housing off real quick. Now you definitely, when you take these bolts out, you want to push really hard on that impact and make sure that socket stays deep down in there. Especially when somebody else has already had it apart and the bolts can start looking a little jicky around here where the socket locks into. Now this is the first design. They do make a later design bolt too. Starting to get the sweetness out of it, huh, Tracy? Yeah, it's starting to come alive. Like I say, it's a Monday morning. Had a great weekend.
One more.
One more.
Oh,
Oh. Now what we're mainly going for is just to see physically what this shop put in this transmission. See if there's any type of performance parts or any form of way they try to help it make it stronger and better. How's that sound? We do have the right filter in here. Pretty nasty. Get that out of the way. Okay, guys. We'll look at the valve body area first. Get our PWM solenoid unhooked. Our 3-2 downshift solenoid unhooked. Our manifold pressure switch. Our shift solenoids A and B. And of course we have the late model style pressure control solenoid here. And we'll get our fantastic little screwdriver right here that a gentleman sent us that I use a lot of.
yeah, the girls got theirs.
Yep, the girls got theirs too. Get that quietened real quick. And we're going to get our detent linkage off here, spring. Get our lockup solenoid. Well, we thought it was going to be 4L60E week. It's going to be a 4L60E half a week, and then we're going to go right back into Dodge diesel. So we got a lot of things happening. And we have our pillow switches here. Nasty, nasty. Now, I don't know, did this have codes in it? I'll have to look and see. My gloves are too dirty to look right now. But we're going to look here, see if all the check balls in there. Try to move it real lightly out of the way. See what we got here real quick. So we have all of our check balls here still in. Our gaskets on this side look to be valve body, round hole, square hole, looks good. We have our detent linkage here. Now they did do a repair on the plate here. You can see this here. Now there was no modifications done to the feed circuit or the third gear intermediate. This is the fourth here, and then you get down here, you got your third. So none of the holes that I can see have been modified in the plate to help this four-wheel drive at all. All they did was put a little repair kit here with a check ball, tried to beat it out. So. Of course, we have one of them drop-down accumulators that I just hate. that we never use. There's just no logic to it at all. You can see how low the piston sets in the housing. There should be one spring in here, a little short one. Now, we'll throw all this away and we'll get one that has a tall body. And what I mean by a tall body is, let me see if I got one here to show you. No, I don't have one. I have to go out in the trailer. But what I mean is the outer part of this is about this tall through here. All this has been raised up a ton. So they make different ones. I don't like using this style at all.
Why does the fluid, it looks so much thinner? I mean, it's not water, but it looks, I don't know. It's not like transmission fluid either.
It's different looking. I don't know. It's kind of. We have our gasket here. Now, this thing's could have had a little bit of water. The way the gaskets are stuck to the case here, usually the only thing it does that is condensation. So, but he did have the right gaskets on here. Now, the thing is, a lot of guys, if they don't know how to make a tranny better, they're just parts replacers. They'll take the tranny apart, replace the parts, put it back together, but they physically don't know what does what or how to make it better. And even in tranny shops, they're that way. I mean, I've been with guys that they could take them apart and put them back together, but they didn't know what did what, or how to make it work better, how to do this, how to do that. And that's where years of playing around with these trannies just makes us so much better. You know, high horsepower stuff. Always messing with stuff. And then being family owned, you know, we drive these things multiple times to make sure they're 100% and they work the way they should. Now here's our 4th gear accumulator here. We'll be blocking this. Of course, we'll be adding another piston on top and spacing it out to where it's flush. We have a check ball here, still in here. That's original. I'm sure we don't have anything done here. They probably didn't. Like I said, it's just all factory. Yeah, nothing done to the lockup. Stock 1-2 accumulator here, the valve part of it. A forward accumulator valve, and then our piston and pin. Always want to check around here and make sure it doesn't wobble. Come in here and always check around here for any wear. Scotch-Brite this up really nice. Maybe you put a new piston back here, new seal. We'll turn our output shaft and move our parking pawl to get the linkage out of the way to get down here to this bolt. Pretty simple.
You need a squeegee.
Yes, I'll do that real quick, Trish. I tell you, my longest lasting squeegee right here, guys. It has been put through the torture. It still goes. Look how straight that is. Still works really good. Throw it in my instant clean machine, and I mean it'll straighten that right back out. So far, my others have been doing good too, though. You can see here, right when I took the bolt loose, fluid come out around this bolt right here. That's why I always double seal these bolts right here, because this is physically where the pressure comes through the tranny case through the pump. So, and then you got your cooler lines over here. So you want to be really thorough on when you seal these in here. Now this is a late model style tranny. You can see here it has the hard pump ring. If I can get that out of there instead of a soft rubber one. Case is different, special case, everything like that. Now you can see here it has the place for the input speed sensor, but since this is the very first design, they were just starting to switch over and they haven't quite done it yet, but they're starting to put these parts in the trannies already and getting ready for it. Now, there might not even be a reluctor down here on the shaft. So we'll look and see, and we'll explain that here in just a second too. So, but no groove for your O-ring. We have our front pump seal retainer. And we always glue our seals in and our retainers. You can take that off with your hand. So it'll come off when it blows the seal pretty easy too. We're going to get in here and look at this pump body. Look at the splines on the stator. Look at the bushing surface areas on both places. Change your bushing, Scotch brite it up really nice, looks really good. Boost valve almost, pressure regulator valve here almost felt stuck. Lockup valve moves. That's get this out real quick. Now you can tell here on the later pumps, the boost valve is right almost to the surface area. On the early designs, it's setting down about a quarter of an inch farther down in there. Now, if you have a speed sensor in here and you put a boost valve in here, aftermarket boost valve, and you don't like the way it works, you're going to physically have to take the tranny out to change it because the plug-in covers the boost valve. Now this could be a 2-ringer, a 1-ringer, 4-ringer. The next level on this, they make a 3-ringer too. The next level up on this one would be a 500 boost valve. So these really are pretty good boost valves. You can go to a Sonex or you can go to a Transgo. The Transgo does make a universal that fits both early and late. I do like that a lot. We have our boost valve and our 2 springs. Now the shift kit will come with 2 different springs here, an inner and an outer. You can see here where the converter could have been spaced quite a bit more up into the pump rotor, set down here and pretty low. Should have been up to about right here. So easy 30 thousandths or more. A good washer would have fixed that, made that a lot stronger. Of course, we have a 13 vein pump. We have a pump slide here. Looks decent, but you can see here where they start wearing, they start getting a lip right here. See that lip right here?
Mm-hmm.
Now we do have a cone valve
So
single
why
spring.
is that doing that?
There's just a lot of pressure right here with this thing moving. It tries to pivot all the way back here and stay perfectly straight. And it just has wear right there. It doesn't, you don't really see it a lot through here. Where's it? See, I really can't even tell it. You'll see it right through here normally. Mm-hmm. See, but when you clean that up, them spots will go away usually. But usually it could be, the pin could be getting bad. Anything like that. This pin's good. Like I said, this tranny's been into, but you can tell here, but when they rebuilt the pump, they didn't do any type of cleanup on this at all. You know, try to buff it up or try to clean it or anything, make it better. Same way here, they didn't do nothing. They just put it together basically. I can't even tell you, you know, the pump bushing, This is a split style. You can see the groove here. It splits totally in the middle. If you took it out, you could bend it apart right there. Now we use a real slimy Teflon coated style bushing, and it's locked. It's totally locked together, kind of like a puzzle. So totally a lot better bushing. So for this gentleman here, I'm not sure how old he is or anything like that, if he's a young guy, older gentleman or whatever. But just by looking at the vehicle, what type of vehicle it is, what type of tires he's got on it, I like to feel people out. That gives me a general idea how I need to build my transmission. If he looks like he's got a little roughness to him, he might go to the river or just, you can just feel people out when you rebuild these trannies and stuff, and you need to build them the way you feel them out. I mean, it's kind of weird, huh, Teresa, how...
But when you tear them down, you can see where they go,
how they use it and stuff like that. So even the other transmission shop should have seen that and should have never put a stock band in here. I mean, you can see here, it wore it plumb down to the metal. There's no lining left on it, rubbing the drum. Totally cooked. That's unacceptable. The drum's probably got the biggest bow in it. I can see a bow in it from here. So we always...
I don't know if this gentleman might have kiddos that drive this
Yeah.
vehicle also.
Yeah, you don't know. But you got to check these drums. And look, you can see a bow under there. I get my flashlight out and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
See that? Touches there and touches the corner. Nothing in the middle. That tells you there, when we put a wide band on here, that band is going to rub tight on the corners. And that's why that band looks like that right now, because of that reason. So this drum's no good, definitely. Put a nice wide band in here with a new drum. Look at our reverse clutches and steels. You can see here too, this is a bevel plate, it applies on the edge and works its way to the center and then flattens out, right? Well, you can see here where it starts applying the clutch first and then works its way out. You can see it all the way through the clutch pack. See? And that's because it applies from the center, so it's trying to bow these just enough after millions of applies and pushes on that clutch that way and applies it. See? I mean, ain't nothing you can do about it. Put new steels in it, put it back the way the factory has it. We want to look at our rings here, see what they look like. I mean, they're where the bushing runs here, big old rut through here.
Is that good because it's got that rut?
No, it's bad. It'd have to have a shaft put in there. It's where the bushing runs.
Oh.
Now we do have our load springs in here, which I'm impressed. We got those. Are they any good? That's the thing. Now you really want to put them up against a new one to know, because sometimes you can't tell just by the eye. Now, these are standing up, but still a new one will be that much higher. So you really want to look at them close. Of course, we have our 3/4 clutch here that's totally gone, nothing there. Which we'll be happy to put a Z-pack in here for him. Oops, almost dropped our little pump slide spring. See how easy that is to lose that little thing?
And he throws it down here with the rest of the...
Whew. You don't see this come in too many times like this. This is manual shifting stuff. Yeah, this is what happens when you see this type of stuff. You know,
not always builder error.
Well, no. Like I said, there's red mud on this thing, and
Right.
you just never know. Now we have multiple clutches in this thing, which that tells you that these probably weren't new to start with. They not saying they weren't, but you know, you have 3 stock style, and then you have these 2 here on the end. Now you do have your flat steel and your wave, which is normal. That's how that's supposed to be built. You have your vacuum plate,
Oh, sorry.
and then you have your 2 engine brake clutches and steels here. Now when you pull it down into manual low, you get these 2 clutches here come on and help support this sprag and this forward clutch. But if you overpower it or run it low on fluid or anything like that, I mean, plug the filter up is the same thing as running it low on fluid.
Can we find our spring that you threw over here that you can't lose?
Yeah, right there. He's right there.
There it is.
He's hanging out. Of course, we want to look at this back side of this forward hub here for any type of wear. Now this is a factory sprag right here, guys. It wasn't even replaced. And how I can tell you is this top race right here has got thousands of miles on it. You can see the lip right here. I've showed it in multiple videos right here to where this brass race starts wearing into this hub. And then when you flip it over, you pull this side out, it looks brand new. See that? So that tells me when they rebuilt this tranny, this sprag wasn't even touched. It's got the factory cheap old GM sprag in it. So look at our inner race, see what it looks like. Looks pretty good. Scotch brought that up. Put some new bushings in here. Look at our sun gear on both sides. Make sure there's no pitting, anything like that. Same way with this race here. If you notice the way this race looks, you can tell just by the dirt being settled in this outer race that this sprag was not spinning in this part of the race. No, the race was just staying stationary, or the sprag was just staying stationary, and this was spinning all the time. Where a lot of times they spin both. This spins, this spins. But you can tell how it was stationary. Scotch brought this up if it's really in good shape. No pitting, chattering marks, or anything like that. Got all of our bonded pistons still in here. Get them out real quick and see. Yes, this whole tranny is going to be full of stuff. I mean, especially when somebody's been into them like these, we have to go through them. Even what's that word I'm looking for? I'm going blank here. Just more slower, more in detail. You know, we gotta, because of everything that they've done and gone through here. So there's just so much to these things. And then the cleaning, you got your little green O-ring down in here. If they replaced it, it'll be green. And I can't get it out. That's how hard it is. Wow. It's green, but it's embedded in so much trash down in there. We have our 3/4 piston, clutch piston here. You always want to replace these because these tips on this piston end up laying over, and this piston has to fit really, really tight down in the drum. And this piston seals in 2 spots where it seals here too, and here down in the drum. So you always want to replace this one. Check these out really good too. When you buy your kit, you can get a kit with bonded pistons or non-bonded. You know, you can get them either way. So it's kind of hard to tear them down and then order parts. You want to order parts before you tear it down. So it's easier just to order the kit with the bonded pistons. That way you don't have to worry about it. Along with all the other things. We have our band anchor strut there.
It sounds like a car stopping. Coming to a stop.
That's that lower sprag assembly. Uh-oh, there goes that. So what you call it, clip.
Yeah, it went
I'm
this
not going to
way.
name it, guys. I'm not going to go there. But that clip is gone. Now you can see here just the discoloring of this, of the clutches that got smoked around it. We just have your standard 4-pinion planet. Check your splines here. Scotch Brite here where your bushing runs. Now I've noticed, guys, when you start changing these hubs up, going to 5-pinion planets and stuff like that, you better be careful, because some of these planets, the bearing lines the planet lines the bearing up, and sometimes this hub lines the bearing up, and the planet don't. So you got to be careful. You want to look for that. You don't want a bearing sitting in here doing this. See, so that bearing sets on a little deal right there, and it stays centered. So you got to be careful. Now it is a roller bearing style. Plastic 4-tab washer. Now, I can't tell you this if this shell's new or old or whatever, but we'll be putting a new one in there. You don't get much blind wear here. Now you see it more where the bearing runs. You see the lip right there. Bearing starts running crooked, you're going to mess the bearing up. So, sorry about that. Let's see if I can get that. Now, being that we know what this gentleman does with this truck a little bit, does some manual shifting and stuff like that, river truck possibly, 4-wheel drive, big tires, we should kind of give you a part of the video, the first. We'll be getting rid of this wave back here and just putting 2 steels back top to top, grinding the tabs off of them where they don't set quite flat in the case down there, and putting it back together. That'll free up the band wear, stuff like that. We have a 4-pinion planet here. See that gear there wobbling? No good. Oh yeah, no good. Oh, no good. That one works. Yeah, nice and smooth, nice and tight. Look at that, don't wobble at all. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Do the dance, huh?
Yeah, wobble wobble.
Yeah, that's junk. Look at your sun gear, really good too. We replaced 90% of them. You can kind of see even in the middle here, them gears wobbling. You can see kind of hot spots through here, some weird spots going on. Hitting here. So we keep them. Actually, I got them in a box. We buy them like 30 at a time. Kind of give you an idea what a brand new one looks like when we take it out. We keep a ton of parts here, guys, let me tell you.
Yeah, when we can get them.
Yep, when we can get them. And we're buying everything we can get. Remove your snap ring, put it on this one here. So it already comes with a new bushing. I'm going to check it on your forward hub there, make sure it fits nice. Of course, we have our lower sprag assembly here. Looking for any type of wear, which we're seeing wear all over this race. Replace the race, put your new sprag in here. You also want to look on these sprags when you take these out. Come on. These rollers can wear in this body where they spin at. And what they do is they start wearing ruts right here. You can see it right there. You got to clean it up, get some good glasses on, feel for it. Just because it looks like this, it could be just the bluing off of it a little bit and no wear. But you got to clean it up and look for any type of ruts where this sprag's been running. Put this sprag in because it can go 2 ways. Make sure your roller or your springs always push your roller uphill. That way you know you got your spragging right. 4-wheel drive output shaft. Pretty simple. Always look at your rear hub here for any wear. Scotch Brite it up. Your ring gear on both sides too. Then you're starting to see wear here pretty good right through here because of them gears wobbling. See that down in there, Teresa?
Yep, I sure do.
See that? That's because them gears are wobbling and running crooked in here. See, and that's why your sun gear has that wear too. So junk, and some more junk. Nasty fluid, but as nasty as this is, guys, it doesn't have that smell. And that smell normally is when it's additive or that converter burns up, boy, you really get bad smells. So, but anyway, Teresa, again, thank you for recording, guys. Or Teresa, no guys. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe, guys. We got a lot more show to come. I mean, just day after day, Dodges this week. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day.